So we welcome you back to Western Sports Roundup. It's time to check in with our friends at the NCHA. That's the National Cutting Horse Association. We like to call it the Cut. And of course, to do that, joining us here in the studio, Haley and I are pretty excited about this young lady. Sara Hollar joins us here in the studio. Thanks for joining us and being with us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sara, I want you to tell me a little bit of your story about the cutting horse world for you, because I know cutting's been in your family for a long time, but for you personally, it just started last May. Tell me why you waited so long to get started.
It was something that was never forced on me as a kid. I mean, my grandfather, Polly, was a cutting horse trainer, and Dad, Mike, and Julie showed horses from, the ages of a little bit, and it was something that Dad never forced on me. I mean, we lived in Katy, the ranch, and everything was in Brenham, and it was something where I went to public school and everything. COVID hit, I pretty much quit going to school, doing the homeschool deal, going with Dad every day, and started riding a lot more. And then we were sitting there last weekend of the youth point year. Reese Collins needed a few points to make it to the world finals. I was like, yeah, I'll show. Why not?
So it's just something, you didn't fall into it, but it seemed like it was a match made in heaven for you to start your showing career, but has it been everything that you thought it was going to be this far?
It really, I didn't expect to, have all the wonderful experiences that I've had and all the, horses that have been offered to me and all the success that I've had in it. I didn't think I'd be that quick. Only going on almost a year now to have all these great opportunities and experiences and success with it. It's really shocked me.
And even in such a short career, you've already had some success. You showed at the Summer Spectacular last year. You've already qualified this year for the National High School Finals later on this summer. That's got to be exciting for you, right?
Yes, sir. It's super exciting. We were in Lufkin a few weekends ago, and I was talking to Marcy Blanchard. We've known her for forever, and she's like, "Are you qualified? Have you signed up for your high school rodeo stuff?" I said, "No, ma'am." She's like, "Yeah, let's do it right now." I was like, "Okay." And that weekend, I met with Miss Susan, who's in charge of the state of Texas, and met her, and she got all my paperwork filled out and qualified for states.
That's amazing. I used to cut in high school and been to the the high school finals there, and it's truly an amazing experience. So I'm so excited that you're starting this journey. But I want to talk to you about the 2024 Priefert Junior Elite Team. You're the only cutter. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, ma'am. It's a great experience. Just whenever that announcement came out Wednesday, it actually kind of came out a little bit early, and they're like, "Hey, you can't say anything till 6 o'clock." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It was just so surreal. And Mom would call me. She's like, "Hey, you made the team." I just couldn't believe it. I was just shocked. And I'm sitting there. We're at the Fort Worth Stock Show because Dad has a booth, and Mom's like, "Hey, you made the team." I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" And of course, Dad's with the customer, so I couldn't tell him right away.
I was going to say you had to keep it quiet for a little while. That was probably the hardest part. Also, you're the junior youth president for the NYCHA. Tell us a little bit about that and what that job entails.
It's just helping out with the NYCHA, helping make decisions with our senior president, Brianna Collier, just getting more kids involved and being a part of it and having a say in what's going on. It feels great to know that what my little opinion can make a lot to impact for the youth.
That's a big responsibility, and it seems like you're doing an outstanding job, but in the cutting world, you can't just do it by yourself. Tell me about your horsepower that's taken you so far.
I've been showing this little mare that we raised. It's out of the Dad's Stud Kid Meek and Blue, and out of this Ray J's Hick, which was another one of Dad's Stud by that mare. And, we've grown her. We sent her to Brady Ripple, trained her a 3-year-old year, debating about showing her at the futurity, but we didn't. Showed her to USCHA show for Dad the first time. I let Dad show her most of her age limit years. We've won ACHA top 5 2 years in a row in the aged events. Gave her a 6-year-old year off. And then whenever I started showing, I showed another little homegrown horse of ours, which was Blue Spoon Cat, little 5-year-old gelding that didn't get finished, and I showed him and stuff. And he died on me back in September, and then Dad's like, "Hey, let's start showing the mare." And, I've had so much success with that mare. And then when I qualified for states, I actually got to show Kid Meek and Blue the stud, and I was the last person to ever get to show him. So that felt so surreal.
I bet it did. Okay, here we are, kind of early in the 2024 season, late in January, but early in 2024. What's the rest of this look like for you here for the next couple of months? I know we're going to get into spring here in a little bit. You'll be busy with high school rodeos as well, but what all you got on your list?
We're going to hit Houston after Fort Worth Stock Show. I'll show there. Trying to catch me right out to West Monroe right now, which was going pretty well. Then go out there, do the youth, showing the youth, and then we have our community service project out there and stuff. Hit a few weekend cuttings before scholarship finals and maybe squeeze my way into world finals. Probably won't get that done with it being my last year in the junior, but everything's possible.
You never know what the future holds, but Sara, your future is so bright. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.